Hi, all Molex Lives. I think it's time we play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. Um, about checking this place out over here. You know what? My inventory is full, though. Where's my... Uh-oh. Where's my bike? Oh, there it is. I was looking for a white icon. Completely ignoring the... Nope, I didn't want to pick you up. I'm sorry. I wanted to open your storage. Probably could have kept that on me. Keep that on me. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, there we go. I think I'm going to check out this place here. Looks pretty big. I don't know what it is. Hotel or something. I thought while I... Did that guy just hit me from the side? I thought while I'm busy getting myself killed here, we could talk about D&D. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the PlayStation 5 first. So I got my PlayStation 5, and got it all set up and stuff. And well, one of the games that came with it was this little kids game, Bug Snacks, and another one that's like a platformer, Astrobots. Right? So there's new Astrobots. Because I already have like 2 other Astrobot games for the PlayStation 4. So PlayStation 5 came loaded with Astrobots, and then the PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus came with Bug Snacks, which are PlayStation 5 games. Also, PlayStation Plus came with like 20 games for the PlayStation 4 that, because the PlayStation 5 plays like everything. Well, it plays PlayStation 4 games, I mean. And there's only a few PlayStation 4 games that don't work on the PlayStation 5, and most of those are uh, like independent, proprietary kinds of things. And so I thought that was pretty cool. But I wanted to mostly talk about uh, I I really didn't want to buy this game, and then I did it anyways, because I just wanted something cool to play on my PlayStation, right? So I had purchased, and this isn't the game. I had purchased the Miles Morales Spider-Man because it was the only one that looked like something I might want to play that was coming out on opening day. And there's no point in having a console if you don't have games you want to play on it, right? So I got the Miles Morales. Well, the Miles Morales game turns out to be just like, I mean, sure, there's differences. It's not identical. Different characters, some different special moves and stuff, but for the most part, it seems a lot like the previous Spider-Man game. I haven't finished the previous Spider-Man game, so I'm not probably going to be playing a lot of Miles Morales until I finish the previous Spider-Man game. Uh, in fact, the Miles Morales game came with the previous Spider-Man game included. So I got those two, the remastered edition for the PlayStation 5. So that's cool. So I'm going to start it over with the remastered edition, I guess. I didn't get that far in, uh, anyways. So I haven't started it yet, though. I got it downloaded and stuff. Um, but I thought I want something cool. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I wanted something along those lines. Oh, you can't. What? I've got lockpicks. I can't lockpick a wall safe? Oh, it's right there. I was looking for a lockpick symbol, not the lock symbol. So I bought. I didn't want to. I really was like, it's ridiculous that it's priced $10 over other games. I watched several trailers. I couldn't decide if the game even looked that good. Um, but I bought Godfall, and I have to say, what do I do? Got a little horde coming in here? I have to say, so far, it is not a great game. Uh, it's kind of like Avengers in a certain way that made me not really get into Avengers, and that is, I don't understand it. Why you make a fighting game uh, like Avengers or Godfall, and then you populate, or then you build these big outdoor maps that you have to cross through to get to, like, I mean, I don't know. I haven't finished crossing the large outdoor map really for Godfall. I played through the tutorial. The tutorial, you're climbing the inside of a tower, and I'm like, okay, so they've got the guys spaced apart here pretty good, so that it gives you time to build up how to combat in the game, and then there's guys every little bit where you're moving along. It's not like it's empty. There's not necessarily empty hallways, but you fight some guys, and then you take a few, walk down a corridor, and then there's some more guys to fight, and then you go up a little stairs, and there's some more guys to fight. Oh, jeez, that dude rocked me. And so I'm like, all right, this seems all right. I can't wait to get into the game because the game makes it look like it's just constant, nonstop. Hack and slash, getting the loots and leveling up and all that kind of stuff, which is what I was looking for. And one thing that did bother me was that the okay, I don't know why I'm looking on there to try and figure out how to go north. One thing that did bother me playing the game was that it's a hack and slash game, but it's got shooter controls. Like, it's a first person. No. Are you first person? You're not first person. It's a third person shooter game where you're looking over your shoulder, and so your right console stick turns the way you look, and your left console stick lets you move and strafe. But if your little pointer is not aimed at the guy when you swing your sword, guess what happens? You don't hit the guy. And so it's a very slow-paced game. You got a button that lets you jump? No, I'm sorry. There's no jumping in this game. You got a button that lets you hop back for dodge. And the bad guys are pretty slow moving when it comes to their attacks so far. Like, you can tell when they're coming in. I was parrying and didn't know that was a thing because you've got a shield, and so I would bring out my shields as they were going to hit me, and it would flash. And so later they explained that that was the parry. And I'm like, okay, it's a little slower than I thought it was going to be. And I found myself nearly dying in spots because I was not aimed on the guy. It's kind of like how this is, right? You're aimed, but you're not directly on the guy, and so even though you're swinging a club or something, it's going next to the guy because your aimer has to be directly on the guy. I like a slashing game where my sword is an actual thing, where I can get two guys at once, or at least if I do a slash attack as I come up. Yeah, and so I don't know. It's not. It has some really awkward controls. It's not. I thought it'd be more like Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War, and I don't know. It's got very clunky to me fighting feel to it. Like you've got a light attack and a heavy attack, uh, and you can't jump, so there's no jump attack. If you run, you can get a run attack, but mostly you're just like point at the guy, light slash, light slash, light slash, dodge. Hit him with a heavy attack because it's got a thing where you can build up a break attack with light attacks and then you finish it with a heavy attack. Light attack, light attack, light attack, dodge. And then maybe you get enough points built up, you can do your skill attacks, which are cool looking and all. It's a very pretty game, but it doesn't feel like I was expecting it to feel from the trailer. And I honestly thought it was going to be a little more like Destiny, but as a slasher, and it's not. It's like an old Souls game, like Demon Souls, or I imagine that maybe it's like a little bit like Skyrim, but I've never played Skyrim on a console, so I don't know what Skyrim played like on a console. Because it would be, it would still be clunky controls, but at least the turning, the first personness of it would be a little more palatable if I were playing it on a PC. And what's even worse is I bought the Ascended edition, so I paid a lot of money for this game because it came with the first expansion, which isn't out yet. And I'm like, oh well, obviously I want to get all of a game, right? And I don't even know if I'll be playing this game. It's boring. And the first level, once you make it past the tutorial, crawl up a tower, and you're able to select from the map your first mission. That's another thing I hate in games. I really do not like the select a mission thing. I like a game where it flows from, oh, it's a level 2 wrench. I like a game that flows through your story and not, oh, I'm going to teleport out and work my way through this map. And now this map is done, so I'm going to teleport back. And now let me teleport out to the next map. Story's really light. Wasn't expecting that. Two guys pull everybody together into giant army, and then one of the guys betrays the other guy, and you're the guy that got betrayed. And so now you meet up with other people who weren't part of this story but somehow are now, and then they go somewhere else to do something. It doesn't really explain that to me. And then you are going to climb the tower that holds all the power that the bad guy has used to power up his lieutenants. And so you have to kill his lieutenants to get all the power. And then once you have all the power, then you'll face him at the end. Whew. Okay. Why are we an army? I missed that part. Why did he betray me? I didn't get to see that part either. Like, it's okay to keep back parts of your story, but I'd at least like to have some idea what's going on besides, yeah, he did you wrong, so you're gonna try and do him wrong. And yeah. But the first map was very empty. It's a forest map because apparently the tower, every layer is a different kind of world. And you mostly just walk around and collect materials because you have to have the materials to build. I don't even know the points of these either. Shard Valor plates. And so I have the Phoenix Valor plate, but it doesn't show up on your guy. And I assume it must give you powers, but when I used it, my guy didn't change to look like he was wearing that armor, so I'm a little confused as to the point of it. And a lot of it just looks silly. They didn't let me choose which one I wanted to wear. One of them looks like a moth. I'm really not looking forward to having moth armor. It's an okay game. It's not a great game. It's a pretty game, but it's not a very RPG story game like I was expecting. There's less story in this than there is in Destiny. So if you ever played Destiny, you know it's not deepest on story. This has less. I kind of wanted to... There's no gun place in here. I really just want that last piece for my freaking gun. I can't believe I found 4 parts altogether and then I haven't been able to find 1 part since. Right? I mean, that's just a lot of hunting for parts here, but well, let's head north then, see if we can find another little town maybe. I saw the hardware back there, but there's not. No, I need to check the hardware, don't I? Because the hardware might have a crucible, and I need that to make steel. So we'll check this hardware real quick. So the thing I wanted to talk about was I haven't given up on it. I just haven't had a lot of time to play. I got it on Thursday, but my niece and nephew have been all over it. And my nephew only played it for like 3 hours. My niece has not stopped playing it, basically, since I got it home. And she just keeps begging me to play. I want to play Bug Snacks. I want to play Bug Snacks. Fine. Or then like, you know, I got other things I gotta do, so I don't just sit around and play console time. But yeah, so I haven't got as much time into it as I would have liked. But I did finish the tutorial and the first level of I've already forgotten the name, Godfall. And yeah, I'm not impressed, unfortunately. Very pretty, very shiny, very pretty game. If I was rating it on looks alone, it would be a top-notch game. Unfortunately, when I play a game, looks are not the top thing on my list. Another stone axe. Stop giving me rewards of stone axes. I know this is supposed to be tiered loot now. Man, look at all those nails. I know it's supposed to be tiered loot now, but the sheer amount of stone items that I'm still getting as loot rewards is ridiculous at this point. I have iron tools that I made myself. Can we move into... Look, there's another stone axe. Can we move into the iron tools at least? Would that be okay? I killed that guy by punching his arm off. So the other thing I want to talk about, now that I've used up all the time talking about how mediocre I found Godfall to be so far, Avengers is the same thing. Avengers has a pretty good start. The tutorial, the demo, whatever. Where you're on the bridge and you're fighting your way through with all the different Avengers. Pretty fun. Made me buy the game. I baited it, and I assumed that after having played through the demo, that it was a fluke. Like they were just testing things with the beta, and that the actual game would be more populated with bad guys, but it's not true. And I don't understand. You've got superheroes running through a forest with no bad guys, and they're just heading to a waypoint. So, what's the point? Why did you start me out in the middle of nowhere? I don't need to stealth in. That's not a thing that's happening. I don't mean that. I don't mean like I couldn't have stealthed in. I just mean there was no reason to. And I don't understand why that's a thing in Avengers. And that first level after you finally gain control of the helicarrier is just a big empty wilderness with a couple of buildings where you can fight some bad guys, but you don't have to. And this doesn't go anywhere. And for whatever reason, they thought that that would be okay in a game. Just big, empty wilderness. It's like they forgot it's supposed to be a game. Anyways. So I want to talk a little bit about D&D. I have agreed to run a D&D game for my Wednesday night group. I say that. I offered to run a D&D game for my Wednesday night group. And so I have picked out the adventure we're going to be running, and I have started my prep. So I looked around and I found one that's level 1 to 20 campaign, which is hugely long. Campaigns usually don't run this long. We're playing another 1 to 20 right now, and I'm just bored with it because there's nothing to do. I mean, you've heard me tell the stories. There's nothing to do. We fight our way. It's like the opposite of the problem with Avengers is that we don't know the point. There's no reason to be there. At least with Avengers, it was like, find the hidden bunker, and they're like, other people are searching for the bunker, but nobody was searching for the bunker. What are they talking about? There was nobody there. And but anyways, So I picked out this thing called Demon Plague, and I've been prepping through it. I stopped. I haven't worked on it today, um, but so I want to talk a little bit about how I prep. I guess I've never I've never really run a pre-written adventure before. That's not true. I haven't run one in person before. I've run a play-by-post a couple of times. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been doing to prep, and what I feel probably should go into it, um, and at least for me, anyways. So Demon Plague, it's pretty long. It's like I said, it's level 1 through 20. Man, the first section is just so much information, though. Like it's a third party adventure, so it's not a Wizards of the Coast adventure. Somehow I got angled the wrong direction. I was trying to hit this little town that I started to explore and never finished. And it's I've made some changes to it already. I'm not running it directly. I'm gonna run it pretty close, but I didn't like their opening story, so I changed the story a little bit, a tiny bit, just the tiniest bit. It was all about star elves and space dwarves and comet demons, and I just it's weird. It's weird for D&D. It's weird for the D&D group that I play with. Let's put it that way. Space elves, I don't know. They're not like sci-fi, so I don't understand the point of it. And so basically, the elves are at war with demons, and this group of elves fled, and they started a civilization, and then the demons, um, one of the demons found them and released a plague that turns them into half zombie, half demon, insane monsters, which is why it's called the Demon Plague. And then they managed to stop the demon, but it killed them all. And then the next group comes along and they wake it up, and then it kills them all, stopping it. And then the next group comes along and it kills them all to stop it. And then the next group comes along and it kills them all to stop it. And then in the book, which I'm not going to include in my playthrough, in the book, oh man, what did I do? I done drove past the town I wanted to explore. A demon finds out where the other demon is and steers the comet it lives in into the ground to wake up the other demon, I guess. And then, like, it's just weird. And then at the end of it, they just go home. I I'm like, I don't understand exactly what the point of all that was, but you know. Anyways, a lot of the stuff in the middle sounded awesome to me, so I thought we'd run this one. And my player, or the guys that I play with, agreed. And uh, so one of the first things that I did is I read briefly, not in detail, but I skimmed through, heavy skimmed, not just like looking at titles. I like read a few lines here and there just to get a feel for how the first part would go before I offered to run it. And there's a lot of information. The layout in the books is, even this book, is done in a way that doesn't necessarily it's not cohesive. It's like, it's not dissimilar from, let's say you had an encyclopedia, and the encyclopedia was laid out by decade. Now the encyclopedia is not in order. I mean, it's in alphabetical order, but it's not in chronological order, and not all the articles fit with each other, right? So like 1950s had a lot of different things going on, right? I mean, there's an article on the Korean War, an article on Russia, an article on McCarthyism. You know, I mean, they're all interconnected because they all happened in the 1950s, but they don't necessarily relate directly to each other as you're reading your way through. I don't know why I picked the 50s, but um, uh, and so probably because I was watching this show that took place in the 50s earlier, and so you got to read through the chapters as you're prepping. You actually need to read the entire adventure while you're prepping because different people do different things in the adventures at different times. And so a player might do something in one section, not a player, an NPC might do something in one section, and then like 2 chapters later, they will give the motivation for why they did that thing. And so that plays into how you portray the character. Man, there's like no stores here. But that ties into how you portray the character to your players. And so you can't not know those things going in. And so this particular adventure is broken into 4 parts, though. And so I've not read parts 2, 3, and 4. I've only read through part 1. But part 1 has got so much information in it. And so, for example, the book, this is how it works in most of the adventures I've seen. The book is like chapter 1 gives you some history information. Chapter 2 lays out the major bad guy for the part. So you kind of know what he's doing, but you know what? He's not even there basically until toward the end of chapter 1, which makes sense. Like nobody's going to know who he is in the town where most of this adventure is going to be centered around. And at least this first part of the adventure. And so like the players aren't going to know about him for a long time, and then but it's good to know what he's doing. And then they got some cool stuff in there like he will be doing these things. And it's a list of things that he is trying to accomplish, which is a thing that I like to do in the campaigns that I make up. Is to have other people operating in the world doing things that may be for, maybe against what the players are doing. But it allows the changing of the world and not just everybody's on pause unless the players are looking at them kind of thing. And so it's really what the adventure before the one that we're on now with my Wednesday night group should have been like, but my DM didn't run it that way. I thought there was a shotgun messiah in this town. Like a factory. I was looking for the factory. This is a big gas station. I'm going to stop here and check out this gas station and get some more gas. Yeah, I need to go faster here. So, what I like to do is I like to use the tool OneNote, which is on Windows, and it allows you to basically create your own encyclopedia. And so there's sections that you can title, and then inside of each section you can put pages. And so like I have a section on locations, and then inside of each location I've got the information about particular areas. And then I've got one for quests. That's the one I'm working on. Ooh, the quests in this book are fun. Maybe not fun to do, but fun how it all fits together. And it's not something that you normally see. And so OneNote is a great tool. It's basically what is that? Oh, it's a stone shovel. It's basically the only tool besides the main book that I need necessarily. I am gonna get Roll20, and because that's the platform we play on, so I do have to get an account, a paid account at Roll20, so I can bump up my account, so I can use some of the DM features that are not available for the free thing. So we will be using that to play. The book came with maps in digital format, and so I do have those. Wow, those ready to go, so I can upload those. So I don't have to make maps, which is nice. I'm used to making maps, and but the book does lay out like random encounters. So as you're going, there'll be random encounters, and so there's a random encounter table, and so I went through all of that, and I created a section for random encounters, and then that way I can put in things like once a day, once a night, roll a random encounter. Here's a list of the random encounters. Here's the creatures that they will run into, so I have the stat blocks right on hand. What is going on? I'm not on my fists. What am I doing? I'm just punching them barehanded. No wonder why I'm having problems. And so I've gone through and laid that all out, and then I go on D&D Beyond, and I grab the stat blocks for the creatures, and I put those in my notes so that I have all that all right together. And that's how I like to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I just like having that stat block right on hand. And then the quest I'm currently going through, the book just has like the book has it so like every building in the town has a number on it. And so when you go to a specific number, there's a section in the book on that number. This is who's there. These are the quests they're involved in. That kind of thing. It's nice, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how all the different people fit together. And so, I am like almost dead and starving. And now I'm going to be thirsty. Yeah, it's a little better with your knuckles out. Disappointing loot on the inside, though. I thought there'd be a little better. Oh, man. Wasn't expecting to get punched. Yeah, so I'm getting that laid out. I know, like, the dude who's the main bad guy, right? I have laid out his motivation in my notes because there's a lot of talky talk, right, in the books that are cool and all and help you understand the guy, but are too much to skim through while you're playing. And so I basically am writing a synopsis of, oh man, where'd that guy come from? Of like who the bad guy is, what he wants, and then like I said, one of the cool things in there was they had a list. Here's a list of everything that's going to happen from this guy's point of view, unless the players interfere with it. And start at step 1 and work your way through every 3d6 days. So the players really have around 100 days of game time to stop this dude, or else really bad things are going to happen because the numbers I rolled, there were that many things that he's going to be doing. And it lets you know like where he's going to be, and dang it, another friggin' stone tool. Stop it with the stone tools already. You don't look like a crow. Or a vulture. I was expecting vultures. And yeah, so it's definitely interesting. One of the big things that I've got to work on yet. Oh, the quest. I was talking about the quest. The one of the really crazy things with the quest is because they're in the book like an encyclopedia, right? Here's building A1. Here's everything about A1. And it might tell you how it connects to another section, but when you go to that other section, it won't have that information. And so it's something that I have to... Oh, yes. Here's the thing. This has been, in the past, my favorite kind of gun, but I believe I can make guns, but I don't know. Well, I can't make guns here. I guess I have to go back to base. But this gun that I just got should give me the part I'm missing, right? Thank you for not continuing to give me stone tools. So you're looking through it, and it's like, this guy wants you to find this necklace. And the necklace belongs to his secret lover, who he's having an affair with. Right? But you have to go to the other sections, to the different people, and then another section is like, this is the woman that took the necklace from that other guy, and this is what she wants to do with it, and this is what players may try to do, and then another one's like, this guy's not going to know what they're talking about, but he will say when they describe the necklace that it looks like the necklace of the woman that the dude was having an affair with. But those are under their sections and not in the quest block. And so if you don't go look at the other blocks, you're not going to know how the quest plays out. And a lot of the adventures are like this. So you have to notes through all of it so that you can pull it together so that you understand what's going on. So I've done that. I've laid out when players can learn a quest, what building the quest is in, who gives the quest, what the quest is about, what the rewards are, what the failures are, that kind of thing. Just little blocks of text. Just a couple of sentences, just to let me know what's going on so that when they get there, I can flip to the section, I can go through the more detailed information that I'm supposed to give them. Like, they have like paragraphs of text you're supposed to read. But, then I also know what's going to happen, like why this guy is saying this. who actually knows the information, that kind of thing. Uh, and then this book has got this crazy thing where they're going to vote for a new council. And so a lot of what's going on in the town has to do with voting for a new council in the middle of what has happened. And so that's like this huge quest that just overlays everything in this town. And that's the one I haven't gotten my notes put together for yet, because almost every single major character is involved in this storyline for the voting. Who knows even if the characters will get involved in it? I don't know, but I feel like they'll have to at least a little bit. But it's a lot of work to prep for this. I haven't even got to the point where I'm uploading maps and putting bad guy tokens down, or rolling health for the encounters or anything like that. All I've been doing so far for like 3 sessions is taking notes from the book and trying to wrap my head around the story and get everything in order in my little game encyclopedia that I'm putting together in a OneNote. I like OneNote because we're going to be playing digitally, and OneNote is a digital notebook basically that lets me quickly move between sections. This is what I use to keep notes on our campaigns as I'm playing as a player. It's what I use to keep notes in campaigns that I've been running, and I found it to be a great tool. But yeah, still have to sit down and read through everything, and roll some dice here and there so I can fill out the charts. Like, they don't tell you what days certain things happen. They're like certain number of days after the players arrive, and I'm like, all right, so let's figure out how many days after the players arrive. All right, I rolled a 3 on a D10, and so day 3, if they haven't made a move that lets the dude know what's going on, then this is when he's going to start doing his thing. All right. So I wanted to look at the guns real quick here. So I can make a machine gun, which I have in my hands, but I thought there was some other kind of gun that I was looking at that was new to me. A tactical assault rifle. I don't know if a tactical assault rifle, because that's new, is better than the AK. And I can make it, I just don't know. I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know. Tactical assault rifle. 7.62 repair kit. And then the AK is a 7.62. It's the same thing. It might be the same exact gun, just 2 different looks. I don't know. I'm going to try it out, though, because it's new. I'd rather try out new than just stick with my standard gun. But I do think it's pretty awesome that I maybe can get this going. So I need machine gun parts. I've got 4 of those. Forged steel. I need 10 of that. Duct tape I've got on me. 5 polymer and 3 springs. How much forged steel do I have? I have... Ooh, I've only got 8. I don't have enough forged steel yet. Dang it. Does the AK use forged steel? Because that will tell me. Nope, the AK is forged iron. So I need 2 more forged steel. You know what? Didn't I pick up a bunch of... Oh, it was forged iron. Dang it. All right, well, with that, I've definitely gone on way too long. So be better than the small things. Lead in the light. I will talk to you later.